This is RSN, Rangers Sports Network, presented by Progressive. It is baseball time in Texas.
And he swings and misses a strikeout. How about the night tonight for Mackenzie Gore? And he hammers it. It's fair. It's gone. Nimmo dives into the plate. He's in there safely.
That ball is history.
Around third base, Duran. He scores easily.
Tearing around second. He's digging for third. He stands there with a triple.
Duran is there, and this one is over. The Rangers even the series. Well, for the second night in a row, the roof is open, and Rangers baseball presented by Choctaw Casinos and Resorts. It is the final game of this three-game series, a rubber game as we call it. It's a winner-take-all kind of scenario today between the Rangers and the Diamondbacks. All right, welcome in, everybody. Great to have you along with us tonight. I'm Dave Raymond with David Murphy, and the Rangers off a win last night in which they scored 7 runs, a season high here at home with the roof open. Make no mistake about it. They also did some things with the lineup, and it just seemed like Skip Schumacher was pushing all the right buttons.
We've been asking for the offense to break out. Last night was the night. It was here at home. The roof was open. There were multiple players that got in on the action, but yes, we've got to give Skip Schumacher some credit. If the lineup is not working the way he wanted to, then just move some guys around. Move Jock Peterson into the leadoff spot, and sure enough, he hits a homer right off the bat, his 27th of his career. Jake Berger got in on the action. He went 3 for 3 last night. He had good numbers against Zach Gallen. Some of the talk early in the series was he needs to go to the opposite field more. He was doing that last night. Big night for him. Ezekiel Duran, we know he's a glue guy. He's a winning player. He plays with energy. He just needs the at-bats, right? Well, he's getting those at-bats. He may even sprinkle the occasional homer in. Last night he did so to the opposite field. And then Brandon Nimmo, you could say that he has been as consistent as any Ranger in the lineup this year. Big triple for him in the 5th. That laid the foundation for a 4-run inning. 3 more hits for him last night. At the end of the night, the Rangers set home highs for 2026 in hits and runs. Simply put, let's see more of that.
Yeah, indeed. More Brandon Nimmo, too. Nimmo had to lead the game early yesterday. That was a bit of a scare. Let's put him in the spotlight with Laura next. Rangers baseball on RSN is presented by Progressive Insurance. Progressive makes bundling home and auto easy. Learn more at progressive.com. And by Choctaw Casinos and Resorts, the official casino and resort of the Texas Rangers.
This MLB season, get a Baja for a blast. When a Rangers home run clears 420 feet, you can score a free 20-ounce Mountain Dew Baja Blast. Register now at BajaBlastHomeRuns.com to unlock the offer. And maybe it'll be Brandon Nimmo unlocking that offer tonight for Rangers fans as we bring you back down to field level here in Texas. I'm Laura Stickles. I think Rangers fans let out a sigh of relief today when the lineup was released and they saw Brandon Nimmo batting second once again, because there was a scary situation in yesterday's game when he rolled his ankle, but it's what led up to that moment which really epitomizes who Brandon Nimmo has been as a player this season and what he's brought. You remember that big 5th inning last night? Well, it all started with this stand-up triple from Nimmo, which put him in position to score on this Corey Seager single. And then the very next inning, he hustles down the line for this single, but rolls his ankle, as you can see right here. Now he's arguing with Skip Schumacher, fighting to stay in this game. Skip said he has been a pain in my butt when it comes to taking him out of games this season, but that just speaks to who he is as a player. He did do some drills on the field today. Says he feels good to go. This time, Skip agrees with him, so he's back in the lineup, and he's batting second again. Rangers are happy, even though he might not feel 100%, they at least have his bat.
I think my favorite part of that sequence was the headfirst slide into home plate on the Seager ground out. Well, here's Kumar Rocker, starting pitcher for tonight. 32 and a third innings for him. ERA right around 5, 13 walks, 27 punch outs, 277 batting average against. There is the Arsenal two-seamer slider, changeup four-seamer, and cutter for the big right-hander.
All right, well, let's see what he's going to look at today from the Diamondbacks. Our Trajan Wealth starting lineup for Arizona. They are 20 and 21. Marte, Carroll, and Perdomo up top. That three has been how they've started every game. Arenado, Vargas, and Gurriel Jr. in the middle. Del Castillo, the DH, Moreno catching, and Waldschmidt, the rookie center fielder, bats ninth. A little warmer tonight with the roof open, 89 degrees. Similar breeze, very slight today, just 6 miles per hour. That's mostly out and about around us. Hard to say really exactly what's going on inside when the wind tends to swirl a little bit. First pitch strike from Rocker comes right back to Marte, and he fouls that one off. It's 0-2. And
how about our Vivint Rangers defense? Very similar look to last night. We have Osuna, Carter, and Nimmo in the outfield. Young, Seager, Duran, and Berger in the infield. The one change is Danny Jansen will get the catching duties behind the plate.
And Marte with a base hit to start this one for Arizona. The lead man aboard.
There is the slider. And we talked about landing that slider in the zone. That's a key for him tonight. Marte, a good two-strike hitter, so he goes out and gets it, and the Diamondbacks have a base runner.
Well, that's always a storyline when Rocker's on the mound. Marte hasn't attempted a stolen base this year. There's ball one to Corbin Carroll. That doesn't mean that he won't. And you saw Dave McKay with a quick interjection there. Their first base coach ducking in to give a word of advice to Marte. And swing and a miss. It's 1-1. Carroll, 263 average, 5 homers, 20 RBIs. Give him a lot of room down the third baseline. And that is just outside. 2-1. The shift such that it is. The rules the last couple of years prohibiting infielders from crossing over to the opposite side of second base, but teams still definitely align based on the data that they have on these hitters. And it's pretty clear that they expect Carroll to pull it to the right side. 3 balls, 1 strike. And Rocker gets Carroll to foul that off. It's a full count. Two for 5 in the series, but with 3 walks. Carroll's done a good job of getting on base for the Diamondbacks. 3-2. And that missed, so Carroll draws his 4th walk of the series. First 2 men are on.
Well, 2 quick points. One, we talked about late in the game last night how the Diamondbacks just were not getting their leadoff man on. It took them until the 9th inning of last night's game to get their first leadoff man in this series. So now you see the first 2 guys on here in the first. And I think walks are also an issue. The Diamondbacks really have not drawn a ton of walks this season. They're toward the bottom of the league. And even the walks that they've drawn, they drew, I guess you could say, 1 legitimate walk in each of the first 2 games. There was another walk in game 1 that was an intentional walk, and then last night it was more the case of Collier just not having his stuff as he walked the first 3 in the 9th. I don't know if you could say that those were earned walks on the part of the Diamondbacks.
Right. Those were a function of Collier just being unsettled as Torey Lovello looks on from that railing out in front of the dugout. 10th year managing in Arizona. Perdomo out toward right field and down the line, and that's a long run for Nimmo, but that does drop foul. Couldn't quite get there. 1 ball, 2 strikes on the switch hitting shortstop.
Well, the good news right there is you can see Nimmo walking with the normal gait. That one tested him. Looked like he was running fine without a limp. I wouldn't be surprised if that ankle is wrapped, and he might be hurting a little bit today, but you'd rather have him in there even if he's not full strength.
Rocker's 1-2, and another bouncer foul. Well, this is a key right here for Kumar Rocker. Got to find a way to navigate this first inning. First inning has been a challenge for Rangers starters this year. Rangers have been outscored 30-15 in the first innings. One, 2, and another foul ball. So already Rocker will be throwing his 15th pitch of the night. That's the other thing we talked about, efficiency for Kumar being a focal point tonight. He could use a ground ball in a big way. That's a strike, and Perdomo goes down looking. Well, that's another way to do it. He'll take the strikeout. 1 away.
Well, this is a great pitch right here. You're in a place where the first 2 guys get on, 3-hole hitter up. You're grinding, you're doing whatever you can. Most important thing is to get the first out, and he does so.
All right, so now Arenado. Veteran slugger batting cleanup. And this is his first year with the Diamondbacks, his 14th year in the big leagues. And he takes ball 1. And you see that lately the numbers have been really good for Arenado. Last 18 starts, a .351 average. Well, that has helped boost his overall numbers. The 1-0. There's a strike. Slider finding the outside corner. Well, Rocker trying to work around that leadoff single and then walk. Yeah, that's in the air down the left field line, but that one definitely working foul and gets into the seats. Good effort by Young, giving it chase. Osuna at left field. Already though, the 6th foul ball for the Diamondbacks. That's one thing Gore avoided last night. They were not fouling off pitches, they were putting it in play, or just flat out whiffing. Another foul ball. Stays 1-2.
I feel like there's a lot of ways you can go right here. Arenado loves to swing the bat. He will chase. I mean, if you can sink it in under his hands off the plate, I feel like you can get some weak contact that could result in a double play ball, or get him to chase on the slider away.
This one's hooked down the line, foul. Now you're gonna have to get creative. How do you get to that foul ball? Rocker 20 pitches into the inning now. 26 years old. Former superstar at Vanderbilt. 1-2 pitch and a swing and a miss. He got him. Arenado strikes out. 2 gone.
I think that's what he meant to do on the previous pitch. He hung it, got it up in the zone. Fortunately, it just resulted in a foul ball. He gets another chance and he executes.
So now Vargas. Vargas having a great year, and he takes right down the middle. Strike 1. Vargas 3rd in the National League with a .336 batting average, and showing off a little power too. 7 home runs. course, for all these Diamondback hitters, this one back up the middle. Seager gets to it on a slide, hops up at first in time, and they got him. Vargas gunned down to end the inning. Diamondbacks arguing that maybe it was closer than that, but I don't think they'll challenge this one. They let it go. The inning is over.
Seager goes hard up the middle. Not only does he get the out at first, he saves the run, keeping it from going up the middle. Great defense by the Rangers. They'll come to bat looking to score in the first.
So great job by Rocker to get through that scoreless first inning. And now the Trajan Wealth starting lineup for the Rangers, 20 and 22. Jock Peterson again DHing and leading off. Then Brandon Nimmo and Corey Seager. It's Young, Carter, Duran in the middle. Osuna at left, Berger at first. Jansen will catch today and bat ninth.
The lineup that will go up against Diamondback starter Ryan Nelson. Nelson, a guy that has really good stuff. Had a nice year last year. Pitched 38 innings. Gotten off to a little bit of a rough start with a 5.68 ERA. 14 walks, 35 punch-outs for him. 61% four-seamer. He'll throw the slider 19% of the time. Curve, cutter, and sinker make up the rest of the arsenal.
Okay, so Jock yesterday started the game with a home run. His 27th career leadoff homer. Getting on base pretty regularly lately. In fact, a little better than 33% of the time for the year. And he takes ball one from Ryan Nelson. Now, this is not a matchup that has treated Peterson all that kindly over the years. He's just 1 for 13 against Nelson. And he takes inside 2-0. The one, it's worth noting, was a home run, though. So I guess it was a very productive one for 13. Here's a 2-0. And he comes up empty. A look of I don't know if that was disgust or confusion after that. 1 for 5 with that homer yesterday. He takes on the inside corner. 2-2. Peterson now with 3 homers on the year, 9 RBIs. Nelson's 2-2, and that one is hit sharply down to first, and right there for it, Vargas. 1 away. So when you're 1 for 13 against a guy, maybe that's part of the reason why.
Yep. And here's the defender Diamondbacks defense for tonight. The same as game 1. It'll be Gurriel, Waldschmidt, and Carroll in the outfield. Nolan Arenado, Geraldo Perdomo, Ketel Marte, and Ildemaro Vargas. In the infield, Gabriel Marino catches for the 3rd straight night of this series.
And here's Brandon Nimmo, and he goes after strike 1. Fastball from Nelson at 96 miles per hour. And Nimmo at 288 so far this year. But with 17 walks, which has allowed him to keep the on-base average up over 360. It's 367 coming into play tonight. Legged out a triple last night. On a 3-hit night, his 3rd 3-hit night of the year. And now we have an ABS challenge. Our ABS powered by T-Mobile. Yeah, that was a good challenge by Moreno. They do get the strike call.
There's another look for you. Breaking ball back door. 88 miles an hour. Just catches that lower outside corner.
So those are always kind of sneaky and, I don't know, uneventful is the right word, but Nimmo retired on the challenge, and Seager fouls off a strike. That's why, you know, you look at the challenge, here's the technology, you take a look at the, you know, the replays, all this stuff, and then it's sort of, there's no fanfare. The guy just disappears. The new hitter now. It's like, oh, I can see a bat's over now.
Yeah, I think you said it well. Like, it's just kind of weird. Like, it just, it's like, all right, I get it. Like, it's a better way to make sure that we got the right call, but it's just like, it's kind of awkward. It's like, all right, so you just tiptoe back to the dugout.
So I guess we're done with this whole thing then, and you just turn around and, you know,
I'll be back after 9 hitters.
Yeah, this whole thing's over, I guess. Hey, you know, if you're the plate umpire, you got some umpires have those really just tremendous strike 3 calls. You don't get to use them. 1-2. Although that would be kind of the coolest troll if an umpire after the ABS is done, he called it a ball initially, right? But now it's a strike, and he's like, yeah, got him.
It'd be like straight out of a movie.
2-2, and Seager strikes out swinging. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Ryan Nelson, so he's pretty sharp in his half of the first inning, and we have no score.
All for Texas.
It seems like the Rangers dodged a bullet once again on the injury front, this time with Nathan Eovaldi, who was scratched from his start 2 days ago with left side tightness, but he threw a bullpen today, said he felt good, threw everything at full intensity, and said he even feels like he can make his next scheduled start on Sunday in Houston. Now, when we told that to Skip Schumacher, he kind of laughed and said there's a lot of conversations that still need to be happened before we set a date yet for his next start, but no surprise, knowing the type of competitor that Evo is, that he wants to get back out there as soon as possible and pitch in that Astros series.
Yeah, no surprise at all. I mean, I think when you look at the recent years for Eovaldi, I mean, obviously you want to get him into the 180 innings pitched, maybe 200. 200 is probably overstating it at this point, right?
You'd love it.
We'd love it for sure, but 130 innings last year, 170 the year before, 144, 109. So I think generally speaking, if we can get him to 150 innings, I think that's a good place to start for him. Anything similar to DeGrom last year, right? Like, we kind of set the bar in a reasonable place, and he surpassed that mark. Older pitchers may go through their bumps and bruises from time to time, but you know that he wants to be out there.
And the good news is he feels, at least according to him, great, and should be ready to go very soon as Rocker gets a fly ball out to retire Gurriel, and now Del Castillo takes strike 1. Adrian Del Castillo, left-handed hitter, the DH tonight for Arizona. Off to a 2-0-2 start for the year. Former second-round pick in 2021. And he fouls that one away. Strike 2. Guy who does strike out with maybe a little more frequency than you'd like. A couple years ago, he was a big-time power prospect. He strikes out swinging here. Third strikeout for Rocker already.
Common theme that we're seeing, that most of the at-bats versus the Diamondbacks tonight are ending on a slider. Opponents just 1 for 4 on that pitch.
So Moreno, the hitter, and he takes apparently low for a ball. His average at 203. There's one better than Del Castillo. A home run and 9 RBIs for Moreno. And it's 2-0. So the game started with Marte singling, Carroll walking. And Diamondbacks had a couple of base runners, and you're thinking, uh-oh. Rocker, they'll use the strikeout to get Perdomo and Arenado. Got a ground out of Vargas. He's retired 5 in a row now since putting those first 2 base runners aboard. But he is 3-0 here on Diamondbacks catcher, and there's a strike.
Kind of reverse of what we saw for the Rangers in game 1 the other night. They get 2 singles to lead off the game in the first. And you're thinking, all right, this might be a good offensive night. Rangers go on to not score a run.
Little bouncer, shortstop. It's a nice Sunday hop for Seager, and he throws out Moreno. Completes a 1-2-3 inning for Kamara Rocker. That's a nice bounce back for Kamara. He only needed 12 pitches there, but played an inning and a half so far. No score.
Good job, Chip.
Chip Roy.
Well, here we go. You never want to miss this one. Astros come to town May 25th through 28th. They come to Globe Life Field. Plenty of tickets available. Get yours at Rangers.com.
Boy, when I see this shot right here, I think Roy Hobbs is right about to strike out the whammer. Right, they're on their long train ride.
Yep.
Little wager made. From the movie The Natural. That's a cool shot.
When's the last time you watched The Natural?
Man, anytime it's on, I'll watch it. That's when I get sucked into that one, and I have a pretty good ability now. I think the world has done a really good job of training my attention span to be as short as possible. So I can just about stop doing anything at any time. But when I get going on The Natural, I am locked in on that. I think as much as I love Sandlot and all the major leagues, I kind of think The Natural is my all-time favorite.
The Natural is a really, really good one.
It just feels like a baseball movie. Nelson's 0-2. Oh, and he gets a strike call in the outside corner. Young goes down looking. That's 3 straight strikeouts for Nelson.
Fastball up, just catches the outside corner. Seems like he gets around that baseball a little bit, headed toward that outside. Maybe just a slight bit of cut on it, but that's always been his pitch. Last year, the run value on that pitch was really good. This year, the batting average is low, but the slug is higher. He's already given up 6 home runs on that pitch, just 12 all of last season. That probably is the reason, one of the reasons anyway, why that ERA is up.
I can't quite figure, though, what's happened with that pitch for him, because it is his bread and butter. Carter at the plate on the 1-strike pitch. That one crowds him a little bit. 1-1. He's an extreme 4-seam fastball spin rate guy. He gets that vertical rise. All it really means is he spins the ball backward very acutely, and the ball appears to stay up longer than the average 4-seam fastball. Forget the velocity. It just doesn't seem to give into gravity quite the same way most fastballs do. And that's always helped him quite a bit. It made him a lot tougher to hit, the 1-2. But I look at the numbers this year, he still seems to be spinning at a similar rate and getting this similar induced vertical break and all that sort of stuff. So I don't know why.
Maybe the league is just wise to him. They've seen him a little bit more. He was a young pitcher. The more that hitters face you, they know how to make the adjustment. His hard hit rate is higher than it's ever been. It's above league average. The expected slug for me, that's a big number, because the last few years, in 24, the expected slug was 419. Last year was 411. This year it's up to 514. So that's up 100 points.
3-2, and that one's lined softly into left field, a base hit. So the Rangers have their first base runner tonight. It's Evan Carter.
Seeing pitches going deep into the at-bat and ending it on a single. Center cut fastball, not getting beat out front. You don't have to use the barrel every time. Nice little single to get things going.
So Evan always a threat to run. He's a perfect 6 for 6 this year on the bases. Duran swings right through strike one. Well, how about Zeke now at 296 for the year? He's on a 2-week jag. Pretty impressive right there. You can see the last 12 games, 341 average. With some power. And he'll go the other way here. That's down the line, foul. 0-2.
Well, you try to go Oppo. How about Chevy under the hood? We saw the Oppo homer last night. Here's the overall numbers in 26 compared to 24 and 25. Look at the home run category. They're equal. The RBIs almost half. OPS is a really big number, up a ton. 849, excuse me, versus 587.
Well, he strikes out swinging here, and that's the 4th strikeout for Nelson tonight. Man, does he have that thing working? 2 gone.
He's just rare back and throwing it. Not afraid to live in the middle.
And now it's Alejandro Osuna. He's at 286 for the year, and that's fouled back. Looking for his first home run. Carter, that's a pretty modest lead he has at first. Very modest, I'd say. It's fouled left side, way out of play. Evan has great speed. He's proven to be a really good base runner this year. He said during spring training he felt like he could steal 30 bases this year, and that was kind of his goal. And of course, to steal 30 bases, he made the point, I got to be on base a lot. There's a swing and a drive out to center field. Waldschmidt, though, is there, and he makes the catch. The inning is done. The Rangers leave a man. We have played 2. 3rd inning coming up here in Arlington. No score.
Bells $5, $7, and $9 Lux boxes today.
Well, the 3rd inning is always an ideal time to get to our Choctaw Casinos and Resort game within a game. Kumar Rocker has success with his slider. 21 of his 30 strikeouts and a 31.7% whiff rate. Diamondbacks pretty bad against the slider here in 2026. 293 slug, that's worst in baseball. 188 batting average, that's close to the bottom as well. So we've seen a lot of that pitch so far. He can use it to his advantage.
He starts with a fastball here to Waldschmidt for strike one, but the slider has been good early. 3 strikeouts of the first 2 innings. And Waldschmidt hits that ball hard out to center, coming on for Carter. He'll take it on a hop. Waldschmidt is aboard with the 2nd Diamondbacks hit of the game.
You don't like what you've seen from Waldschmidt so far if you're the Diamondbacks. Speaking of slider, catches this one just off the end of the bat, enough to dump it in front of Carter.
So he takes a pretty good lead at first, and Rocker delivers a very high slider for a ball to Marte. With Rocker, the stolen base is a constant threat or concern, quite honestly. It's fouled back, 1-1. There are times where he's working to make the adjustment to be quicker to the plate, and Mike will point out that, like, okay, that's good. You want to keep those runners in check, but not at the expense of losing hitters either. The runner going, the pitch is outside. Throw to second is a good one. They got him. Whoa, Waldschmidt tagged out. Great throw by Jansen. And Seager right there to put the tag on him, 1 away.
Just a perfect example of how important it is to put that throw on the money. It looked like Waldschmidt got a pretty good jump, but the throw was there. Seager ready to put the tag on him and just had to drop that glove right down into his back.
Well, that's a big play. And a huge lift for Rocker. 2-1 pitch to Marte. It is on the way. And that's tight. So 1 out, nobody on. Marte had the base hit in the first inning. And he'll walk this time. Second walk that Rocker has issued today.
Yeah, I don't know if it's just me. I know that Marte is not having a great year, and I know Corbin Carroll behind him is really good. But with what he did to the Rangers last year, I'm fine if he walks. He hit so many balls hard last year. Let's just let him go to first, and we'll worry about the next guy.
Boy, especially given that he has not been running. He has not yet attempted a stolen base this year.
Good point. I think there was a game in Arizona, and it was ironic or coincidental because I think he had a double in the first inning and ended up hitting a homer maybe in his second at bat. Both of them were over 115 miles an hour with the exit velocity. That was the first instance of that happening in Major League Baseball last year, and I think it was in September. Well, sure enough, you know who did it the same night? Shohei Ohtani. Weird how baseball works.
2-0. You're talking about Marte's numbers against the Rangers. You know, last year he was hitting the ball so hard. He had the base hit his first time up today, so he's hit safely now in 9 of the last 10 games against the Rangers for an average up over 350 and OPS over 1200. There's a strike. 3-1. So your instinct is not a, you know, probably an uncommon one. There are probably a lot of folks who are like, yeah, I'm just as comfortable seeing him walk as well.
I get a little nervous twitch when he gets close to the batter's box.
3-1 pitch, and Carroll gets a piece of it. That'll run the count full.
They're going to try to send Marte with Carroll up there now. 3-2 count, 1 out. Could be a time to run.
Rather nonchalant looking lead. 3-2, he's not going, and it's down the line, foul. So we'll do it again.
You got a guy with speed out there. It's ideal to do it and try to move some guys when you're closer to the bottom of your lineup. You definitely don't want to strike him out, throw him out with your 3-hole hitter coming up behind Carroll.
Well, they've already made 1 out on the bases this inning. Waldschmidt caught stealing. And the next offering, there's a pop-up that's headed toward the seats as well. And I think it was Carroll who fouled off, it seemed like half a dozen balls in that at bat in the first inning when he ultimately worked a walk. He's about to see his 8th pitch in this plate appearance. So Marte walks off the bag again. Has not shown a real keen interest in doing anything down there. That's high. Ball 4. So back-to-back walks. Another good battle for Rocker, but battle won by Carroll again. And that's now 6 walks in the series for Carroll. Here comes Jordan Teagues now. And while they discuss things out on the mound, we'll move over for Baylor Scott and Whitehealth. All right, so a couple of base runners out there. This is very similar now to that first inning, right? He Rocker put Marte and Carroll on, or allowed them to reach. And then he got Perdomo, Arenado, and Vargas in order. This time those two are on, but there's already one out. Conversation broken up by our plate umpire, Jansen Visconti. Perdomo struck out in the first inning. Signed by the Diamondbacks, who developed out of the Dominican. Lines this one out to right field, and Nimmo makes the catch, tagging at second. Marte, he'll head to third, but that is the second out of the inning. So that's good. One pitch out. Those are great.
We don't see a whole lot of those from Rocker, so that's got to be reassuring for him. Trouble finding the strike zone, 2 straight walks, and then he's able to get that out on the first pitch.
So Arenado, the hitter, and he didn't look real comfortable. A guy who's been around for a long time. Mentioned earlier, 14 years in the big leagues now. And he did not like Rocker's slider in that first at bat. And he starts him with it this time for ball 1.
Yeah, we were talking about some good hitters like before the game. Some guys that came up, Aaron Judge, Albert Pujols. And as great of a career as Arenado has had, like, there are holes. Like, there's a way that you can pitch to him. And you can say that for everybody. Everybody's got their places in the strike zone, their pitches that they don't handle well, and I feel like that's a perfect example. Arenado seems like he's been very pull conscious throughout the course of this series. Lots of foul balls into the stands on the left side. So you stick with the slider away and you bury it with 2 strikes, you can be successful.
Oh, he just throws one for a strike. 1-2. Corbin Carroll stole second base, so the Diamondbacks have 2 men in scoring position.
So,
1-2.
So I feel like you can beat him fastball up, you can beat him sinker in, or you beat him slider in the dirt.
1-2 pitch, and he goes with the slider down low, backing up on it. Young, he's got a long throw, but it's in time. They get Arenado, and the inning is over. So nicely done again by Kumar Rocker. 3 scoreless innings under his belt today. When we come back, the Rangers offense looks to get going. Jake Berger will lead it off in a scoreless game.
Back the day. Same care you know and love, available the same day.
Jake Berger's 3-hit game last night was huge for helping him rebuild his confidence at the plate, especially these hits going the other way. And he also said the walk after falling behind 0-2 was important for him because it reminded him the zone is actually smaller than he thinks sometimes. Some days it can feel as wide as the backstop, but that's not the case. He said it also reminded him he can produce in different ways and doesn't have to hit the ball 110 every single at bat. Sometimes just a couple of singles is all it takes.
Well, hits this ball well out to left field, but for a long loud out, 1 away.
It's a good slot for him there. That's middle of the field. He's got enough power to lead any ballpark in the middle. I think that's just, and Ryan Nelson, I think it takes like a time through the order to get to him. Like, if there's a theme of the Rangers facing Nelson in the last year or so, then you know it's going to be like a dramatic game with a dramatic ending. Both times they faced him last year, once at home, he breezed through the Rangers lineup. I believe it was 2 times through, and then just in the blink of an eye, I think he had given up a run. It was like a 5-1, 6-1 ball game. They got to him a little bit. Boom, Wyatt Langford, 3-run homer. I think they tied it up. They ended up winning it in extra innings. Well, sure enough, like 3 weeks later, they go to Arizona, they face him, and if there was a game that was the Little Rascal game, we talked about the Little Rascals so much last year, but there was like one particular game where Osuna came up with a big hit late. Freeman actually homered off of Nelson, and then came up with a really big 2-strike hit late in the ball game where he dumped one into right field. It was a really good comeback when the Rangers were still trying to you know, grind through that postseason race and get in, which didn't eventually happen. But both of the starts that Nelson had against the Rangers last year, they ended in some dramatic fashion late. So who knows? Maybe we'll see it again.
Yeah, I mean, in a scoreless game so far, it certainly would give you the sense we might be headed toward a little drama at the end here. Is now the Rangers get a second look at him. So you said it. Maybe you just need a turn through for the guys to get a sense for what it looks and feels like tonight from Nelson. Peterson lined out in the first inning. He smoked it too. Boy, that one. Did that go behind him?
No, it went like right in front of him, I think. Look. Did it? No.
Almost got it.
If you're going to miss the catcher's glove and the player, if you're going to throw it right in between, I mean, that's about as pinpoint control as you can imagine without having control.
Yeah. 2-0. And there's a strike. Jock out of that leadoff spot again tonight. He was there yesterday when the Rangers scored a season high 7 runs at home. I say a season high runs in this ballpark. He gets underneath this one. And a high fly ball out there to right center field. Carroll takes control and it ends the inning. And a quick and quiet one at that for Ryan Nelson. 3 innings in the books, still no score.
It's meaningless without affirmation, am I right?
I mean, if this is me, I'm rushing to the ballpark. Skip Schumacher concert tee presented by AMR. I mean, come on. Wednesday, May 27th, Astros Rangers. First 10,000 fans. Be there. Get your tickets at Rangers.com. I mean, that's a must-have right there.
Some great concert merch. That's crazy. I've never seen that concept applied to a manager for a little promo item. That's kind of fun.
What kind of genre do you think Skip sings?
It's a good question. I mean,
Country?
yeah, I don't. I mean, that wouldn't.
Maybe
that'd
rock?
be very possible, but yeah, I think more just kind of rock, right?
For sure.
Big band rock stuff.
Like, you could see him in a variety of roles. Like, you can see him as a front man, but you can also see him as just like a roadie. You know, just, I don't know.
It might be emo.
We'll follow up. We'll ask him tomorrow.
Yeah. Rockers 1-2. And that's out towards center field. And Carter is there. That one kind of hung up a little bit. But Vargas retired, one away. A little thrash metal for Skip Schumacher.
Ball had some funky action on it at the end. Seems like they took the spin out of it. It wasn't like true backspin. There was a little knuckle or side spin or something.
So now Gurriel, he flew out to left field in the second inning on one pitch. It was the first pitch of the at bat. This time he takes a pitch. 194 average for Gurriel. And there's maybe an argument to be made that the fly ball out in the second inning for him was a positive. I say that not because he's had such a hard time hitting the ball or anything. It's just that he's hitting the ball on the ground this year at a ridiculous rate. Now, unlike any other season he's ever had. He's mostly a guy who tries to lift the ball and give himself a chance at a potential home run or extra bases. And he is coming back and came back quickly from that ACL surgery. And you just wonder if that has affected his ability. And I don't know where it would be, Murph. You would have a better sense for how something like that would affect you if you're, unable to plant on that front leg and get that, I don't know, get that plant leg down.
100%. And I never dealt with that, but I do remember when I played here in Texas in 2013 with Lance Berkman. He's a guy that had big time knee problems, and I want to say that he had a surgery on his left knee, and it didn't bother him as much from hitting from the left side as it did from the right side. And that, just speaking of knees, I mean, that looked painful.
I say that's insult to injury. That's more like injury to injury. Ooh. That is painful. Ouch.
Oh my goodness. Just as we're talking about it, how does that even happen?
Boy, that is rough. Now the knee that he hurt last year was his right knee.
Okay.
But
well, you can go either way with it. Yep. So as a hitter, if your legs aren't under you, it's going to be hard to hit for power, whether it's the front knee or the back knee. But I would say that if you don't feel strong on your backside, because that's pretty much all you hear in Major League Baseball these days. We want to get the ball in the air. We want to hit with power. We want to hit the ball in the air to the pull side. Those sorts of things. It's hard to do that if you are not locked into your backside. And the knee obviously has a lot to do with that. You talk about that knee, you talk about your back hip. All of those things are interconnected.
Yeah, and that back leg, right? You're hitting, you're rotational. So that back foot's down and you're rotating on that.
For sure.
I would think they'd put a little extra torque on a knee that's already compromised. And so you're probably quickly off to that front side.
Yeah, and if you get to your front side, that's when ground balls happen. That's when lack of power happens. I mean, if you're thinking of a front side guy that hits the ball on the ground, you think of an Ichiro Suzuki, or modern day you think of a Stephen Kwan type of hitter. Those are guys that hit the ball with a low trajectory. They use their speed to get around the bases. Most guys try to do the exact opposite. Front side is lean into your front side for golf, lean into your backside if you're a baseball player.
2-2 to Gurriel, and he takes in the dirt. Well, at this point, he doesn't really want to engage either knee. And he's going to have to. The Diamondbacks have fouled off 16 pitches today, making it a little harder on Rocker. It's 3-2, and that's pulled foul. This is already the 5th 3-ball count as well for Kumar. So deep counts, a lot of foul balls, and it's making it difficult to envision Rocker getting real deep in the game. The payoff, and that's fouled off again, which means it's going to be a 10-pitch at bat to Gurriel at minimum. Well, the righty winds it up. Here it comes. And another foul ball. Gurriel, not one of those guys either where you think about, it's just having the back control to spoil pitches per se, because he's trying to drive it. That's crazy. Look at that. 11th pitch. And he shoots it out to center. Hangs up long enough for Carter to get to it. 2 away.
That's a pretty good battle for Gurriel to end an at bat with that's pretty good quality. 95 off the bat, line out to center field. Your knee's killing you. You see 11 pitches. It's your teammates appreciate that.
Yeah.
In the hair.
Man, that is jarring. SpongeBob night here. I don't know what that has to do with that hair. Because that's a little more like Phineas and Ferb.
that is.
You know?
Well, I feel like whether it was it him or was it Yuli a few years ago, and you referred to him as
La Pina, right?
Like
the pineapple?
No, like one of the Mario Kart characters.
Oh yeah.
I feel like that was the best comparison.
Yeah. Look at that. It's just amazing. Boy, you think, trying to pick out your wardrobe and accessorize every day with that? I mean, 'cause it's just not real flexible. Make everything work with that purple hair. 3 balls and a strike on Del Castillo.
I think you could do it.
Yeah, I could pull that off. Inside, ball 4, and it's another walk. So Rocker struggling a little bit in that regard. I mean, that's 4 walks, which ties a season high and a career high. So far, it hasn't hurt him that bad. I mean, it hasn't hurt him in terms of runs. It's definitely extending innings. And he runs one inside on Moreno. Could go with the Sideshow Bob from The Simpsons with that hair for Gurriel. That one smidge high. 2-0. That's kind of awesome. It's ripped down the left side foul. Now, I don't want to hear from Gurriel that, I just can't go anywhere in the Valley of the Sun without people stopping me and noticing me and making a big deal. I just want a quiet night out with the family, and people are always coming up to me. That hair says hello. There's a strike.
Well, you know what we could do? We could tie that hair in with the Skip Schumacher t-shirt.
Concert tee.
Oh man, now we're talking.
Yeah, he'll be the opening act for Schumacher. This one lined into left field. Oh, Moreno is on. A couple of 2-out base runners now. A 2-out walk to Del Castillo, and then Moreno follows that with a base hit.
Well, Camarge is having a hard time with consistency in the strike zone. He's having a hard time getting ahead. Just 35 first pitch strike rate tonight. So we'll get a visit from Jordan Teagues, and hopefully we can get things straightened out here, but he's just in and out of the strike zone here in the 4th inning.
Well, yeah, he's also 25 pitches into the inning, and that's troubling for him. He hadn't had that many easy innings to this point, so another stressful frame as he deals with some traffic out there. The conversation done, Teagues heads back to the dugout. Stranded a couple of base runners in the 1st inning, 2 more last inning, and now he's going to try and do it again in the 4th. It's a 9th place hitter, the rookie Ryan Waldschmidt, and he's been good. I mean, not an easy out. 1 for 6 in the series coming in at a base hit in the 3rd inning. Only the 6th game in his young major league career. Rocker goes right after him. That breaking ball in the dirt. Nobody moves up because Danny Jansen, who might be the best going right now at blocking. He kept that one close enough.
Yeah, Jansen just pouncing Turns that mid over, wears it off the abdominal area, goes to get it.
Fastball finds a corner. 1-1 to Waldschmidt, a first-round pick, 31st selection overall for the Diamondbacks. That was in 2024. He played his college ball at Kentucky. Started and watches a strike. 1-2. Well, Rocker has 3 strikeouts so far today. 2 of them came in the first inning after he'd put a couple of base runners on. And while he's probably not going 7 innings tonight, a strikeout right here might be a bit of a lift for this team. The 1-2. That was close.
Now, that is one of the things that was talked about when Waldschmidt came up. Not as much chase. Alec Thomas doing exactly the opposite, was chasing too much.
2-2. And dribbled right out in front of the plate. Jansen out for it. Bare hands, goes to first. They get Waldschmidt. The inning is done. Great inning for Jansen. Great job by Rocker to work around some late trouble in the inning. He played 3.5 tonight. Still 0-0.
The Union. Our members are the mission.
Well, how about our Shiner Box spotlight? Ryan Nelson's been pretty good tonight. Has not allowed a run. It's probably because he's been really good on the road this season. Just the opposite of last year. How weird of a game is baseball? You're great 1 year at home. You're not as great on the road, and then you just go in the exact opposite direction. Really good on the road, but struggling big time at home here in 26 is Nelson.
That's a crazy split right there. Sub-3 on the road.
It's like Corbin Carroll with lefties versus righties.
Yeah, hard to make a whole lot of sense out of any of it. Well, it's Nimmo, Seager, and Young in this 4th inning. Rangers have just the 1 base runner tonight. It was the hit by Evan Carter in the 2nd inning. 1-1 to Nimmo. So Nelson making it look fairly easy to this point tonight. And here comes his 1-1 pitch. There's a swing and a miss. But you already foreshadowed how this game will undoubtedly come down to some sort of crazy and dramatic finish.
Just fast forward to the 9th.
Yeah. Let's see what happens. 1-2. Yeah, that's golfed high in the air. Playable for Waldschmidt. That's out number 1. Well, and it brings up Corey Seager. There was some talk as to maybe today would have been the day that Seager would get a day off, right? Made sense. It's a night game at the end of a series with an off day tomorrow, going into the big series with Houston. But Skip Schumacher said no, that today was not to be the day. But maybe that day's coming up. Seager needs something to get him back on track, though. And I think that's part of it. I think he wants to stay in there and keep working on it and see if he can get something to click.
Well, maybe it was hard too because Nelson, a guy that he had some success against. I think he was 4 for 7, 4 for 8, something like that, with a homer. So that's a guy that you definitely want to be in there against when you've seen him well in the past, because you're thinking, all right, you know, this is going to be the guy that gets me out of it.
Yeah, 3 for 5 with a walk and a home run. And he gets underneath this one. Shallow right field. And Carroll able to race in and make the catch. 2 away. Now, that's a game. If you're going to play that game with Corey Seager, well, there's never a good day to sit him down. He's got a lot of good numbers against a lot of good pitchers.
Yeah.
What do you think about this one, Corey? Oh, I've hit that guy pretty well in my career. Maybe I'll wait. Because he's had a dominant career at the plate. But in a tough little stretch right now. Here's Young. Young going the opposite way. He's on a pretty good heater to start the year. Came in second in the American League with a batting average of .320. He did strike out earlier tonight. Hits this ball on the ground, shortstop. Perdomo goes down to get it, hops up, throws to first, and it's in time. So Nelson authors another 1-2-3 half inning for the D-backs.
How about Perdomo? Goes in the hole, little spin to the reverse side. Nabs Young. We'll come out to the ballpark on May 25th. Astros play the Rangers that night. If you're one of the first 10,000 fans, you get an all for Texas hockey jersey presented by TXU Energy. Get your tickets at Rangers.com.
All right, fifth inning here, and how about this? Roof open. Empty sky up above us today. Beautiful. It was 89 degrees at game time. And you know, they wait till right about the time the game's going to start before they open the roof. So I feel like a lot of the air conditioning, the coolness, just kind of, it lingers even after they peel the roof back. So even though it's say 90 degrees outside, it doesn't even feel.
No, it doesn't.
Degrees.
I guess it kind of reminds me of Arizona. Like, you know, when they open the roof there, they do it at the last possible second. And I feel like it's a little bit of a different story. Whenever I played with the roof open in Arizona, it was scorching hot. So this is as perfect of a night as you can get. Last night as well.
The Rangers, they've had success. They're 3-1 this year with the roof open. Rockers 2-2. Yeah, that's popped up. Back of second base. Seager right there for it. One gone, and Carroll coming to the plate. Corbin Carroll, a couple of walks today. Let's see if maybe Rocker could keep him off the bases here. It's not an easy task. It certainly hasn't been in this series for anybody. 5 walks, a couple of hits in this 3-game set. And he's ahead 2-0. So he came in with the on base average at 364. And that number is going up. Well, that's high in the air center field. So with Carter getting there, Corbin Carroll has been retired. He'll have to go back into the dugout. It's happened. 2 away.
You know, for as up and down as this night has been for Rocker, he's really an out away, you would think, from a scoreless outing. It's at 93 pitches. I wouldn't think that they're going to send him out there to start the 6th. Rangers do have action in the bullpen, so we'll see what they do. But you know, if you're coming out on a night where you don't have your best stuff, you can applaud Rocker for battling through.
Yeah, I mean, we mentioned a career high 4 walks issued today, but he's had a tough time giving this team length recently. And that is low, 1-1. I mean, he's This is his third start of the month, and it would pretty much double his inning workload tonight with these 5 innings. He went 2 innings at Detroit, went 3 2/3 innings earlier in this homestand against the Cubs. Two and 1 to count. And you see he's about to throw a season high 97th pitch with this next one. And the reason the average is lower is because he was getting those 80 pitches in 3 innings. You just can't push a guy a whole lot further on nights like that. A little pop up out into short left field, and Seager there again. So Rocker, despite everything today, has gone 5 shutout innings. Well, you talk about alternate jerseys on this homestand. The Power Rangers was that yesterday, and today we got the SpongeBob. Yeah, and the enthusiasts are out. Turning Globe Life Field into Bikini Bottom. Did you watch a lot of SpongeBob?
I watched 0 SpongeBob. You?
I mean, I've
dabbled?
Seen a little bit, you know. Patrick is awesome. I think those guys have watched a little SpongeBob in their day.
It was kind of like that in-between time for me where, you know, and I was the youngest in my family, so after I was done watching cartoons, like there wasn't really much cartoon watching. I do remember like my first minor league stop after I got drafted was Lowell, Massachusetts. And that was one of the main songs that they played between innings for the kids, the SpongeBob song.
ABS challenge here.
The pitch was called a strike. The batter is challenging.
All right, so Carter challenging a Firestone Complete Auto Care ABS challenge. And good idea, Evan. That was a ball. I mean, geez, obviously that was low. 0.2 of an inch. Lowell's a tough town, right?
It is. It's an awesome town, though.
Yeah. The Spinners. Were you guys Spinners?
We were the Spinners.
Bouncer down to first. Diving stop by Vargas, and he'll have no play. Evan Carter is on, and he's the only Ranger who's managed to reach base tonight.
2 for 2 for Evan tonight. Not the hardest hit balls by him, but enough. It's not how hard, it's where. Tries to squeak it through. Neither Vargas could make the play. Marte right behind him.
Okay, so now Duran. Rangers are still in that second tour around the lineup against Nelson. Nelson only had 50 pitches. And Duran swings and misses. It's 1-1. So literally, I mean, he's like twice the pace tonight of Kumar Rocker. That's efficiency.
Yeah, he's gotten better as the game's gone on, and that's what he's done for the season. You know, times through, his first time through, opponents hitting .328, slugging .500. Second time through, .260, .733 OPS. When he gets to the third time through, when the lineup gets to the third time through against him, just .182 with a .553 OPS. So, yeah, the results have shown he gets better as the game goes on. I mean, what the Rangers really need is Wyatt Langford in the lineup, because both times against him last year, Langford homered against him.
Well, he's just checked twice on Carter. So Evan ostensibly could be a little more aggressive here. 1-2.
I wouldn't mind seeing a replay of last night. The roof is open again tonight. Last night it seemed like he got a little help from the roof being open as he snuck this ball out beyond the right field fence, down that line just over the T-Mobile sign. You know, even if you would say the offense isn't really going well, we're going to try to hit and run. Nelson probably wouldn't be a great guy to do that against, because with that heavy four-seam action, he's probably going to produce more fly balls. With the hit and run situation, you want that ball on the ground.
And Duran strikes out. That's the first out of the inning. Yeah, that's the other thing, right? I mean, he's should be a fly ball pitcher.
It's a similar at bat that we saw. I think it was basically right down the middle, the first at bat to Zeke. He's just having trouble seeing Nelson tonight and catching up with that high spin fastball.
So it's Osuna now, and he fouls that one off. So when you had a guy who was like Nelson, had that ride on his fastball at the top of the zone, talked about those things having hop, whatever. There are a lot of different ways to describe that sensation of a guy who spins it like that. As a hitter, how do you compensate for that?
Well, what these guys are taught to do today, we weren't necessarily taught that before, but you pick up the heater, you know that it's a four-seamer, you know that it's going to have that riding action where it appears to rise. You just trick your eyes into swinging above it. You swing a few inches above, and that'll help you square it up.
Oh, that one just got Osuna's elbow guard, so he'll go to first. Osuna hit by a pitch. Second time in the series, fourth time this season.
Get him right in the elbow guard, too. We saw it the other night. I think it's the second time this series.
Poor thing, trying so hard to get out of the way by sticking his elbow out in front of the pitch.
Exactly.
So, a couple of base runners now. Carter at second, Osuna at third. Both can run. Berger hit a ball hard in the third inning. Goes for an out. Hits this ball hard. Down the right field line. That's got a chance. Gone! A three-run blast by Jake Berger.
Day in, day out with this team. You talk about getting the big hit. How many times has Skip Schumacher said, we need the big hit, we just didn't get it? That is a big one. If the Rangers lineup is going to be successful, this guy's got to get hot. 3 for 3 last night, and then a 3-run blast right here. Big swing from Jake.
Okay, that changes the mood in the building. A little back toss to go with it.
After watching that replay of Zeke's homer last night, you had a really good feeling the second the ball left his bat that it was going down that right field line. And you talked about it, how there's just a feel when the roof is open, you get some extra carry that way.
Didn't seem like, even as that one was headed out there, that as it was reaching the apex, that it was just holding.
Yeah, it still kept going.
Big 3-run homer. And Jansen fouls that one back. 2-1. It's just sort of hovered.
Really good loft.
And I'll tell you, it's right by the pole. That, to me, that's the whole thing. You go to the pole and then maybe in 10 or so feet. And that's where you get a little help when that roof is open. Perhaps there are other spots. We just haven't discovered them yet. infield hit, a hit batter, and then that home run. Right, I mean, it's just Rangers had one base runner prior to the inning, but the Carter infield hit. Osuna just couldn't get his elbow out of the way. He gets on, and then Berger found the spot. 3-0. And Nelson, he's had a little trouble with the home run ball this year. That's the 9th that he has allowed. Jansen strikes out swinging. 2 away. 6 strikeouts for Nelson.
This one on the backed up slider. You know, once again with Jake Berger, also 4 hits the last 2 nights, 3 of them the opposite way. I think there's something to that.
Good indications, right? All good indications. What's that smile? Guy relaxing just a little bit. Boy, he's driving in runs, though, too, Berger. Peterson went chasing 0-2 the count. So Rocker happy too, right? I mean, he's the beneficiary of those runs. Gave the team 5 shutout. Bullpen more than likely takes it from here. Nelson's 2-strike offering, and Jock watches a ball. So there's Cole. He's had a lot of time to get warm. The 1-2 pitch, and Peterson gets a piece of that to stay alive.
Yeah, Wynn's had a lot of time to get warm, and now maybe a little bit of time to breathe.
And Jock reaches down to lift this one into center, but that's not going to do anything. Waldschmidt makes the catch. Jake Berger, though, has changed the course of this ball game. Big swing goes the other way to right field, and enough to get it out. Give the Rangers the 3-0 lead.
All for Texas.
Well, we played 5 full innings tonight. Rangers have the 3-0 lead thanks to that man. Jake Berger's 3-run homer has him on top. And now Cole Winn will be the first man out of the bullpen tonight for the Rangers.
16 innings for Cole in 18 games, 4.5 ERA. Just allowed 1 earned run since the calendar turned to May. So hopefully he can continue to have a strong month and see that ERA steadily go down.
So he follows Kamar Rocker, who went 5 innings, did not allow a run, only 3 hits, 4 walks, and 3 strikeouts. And Wynn's first pitch is ripped down the left field line and into the corner. And that is a leadoff double for Nolan Arenado.
I guess you can appreciate the fact that Winn comes into the ball game 3-0 lead. You pitch to the score, right? The last thing that you want to do is walk a guy, so you do your best to get ahead. Center cut fastball at the bottom of the strike zone, and it's barreled up by a really good hitter.
So man at second base. Vargas the batter, and he shoots one foul. Ildemaro Vargas. Been around for a little while. And just all of a sudden kind of having a breakthrough year this year. At 34 years old. Hitless in 2 tries against Rocker. Wynn gets him to foul that one back, and it's 0-2. All right, our Ford leaderboard. Take a look at what this Rangers bullpen has done this year. The best ERA in all of baseball as a group, and by a pretty significant margin.
Almost half a run.
All in 2. Count remains on Vargas. We have seen this bullpen pull off some near miracles, including the opening game of this series was one where Eovaldi was scheduled to start, but was scratched at about 3:30 in the afternoon. Rangers had to just cobble together a bullpen day. Jacob Junis started, went 2 2/3. Jalen Beeks, Peyton Gray, this guy, Cole Wynn, Tyler Alexander. And they pitched beautifully, allowed 1 run in that game. Unfortunately, the Rangers did not score. There's a swing and a miss. And Wynn gets his first strikeout.
He's got a lot of weapons to beat you when he's on, whether it's the split, cutter. It's a really nice slider. See that tight spin. Vargas definitely did not see the spin. Didn't pick it up. Swings over it.
So now Lourdes Gurriel, and he lines that one out to the alley in left center field. That gets down and heads to the wall. Arenado scores easily. Gurriel can coast into second, an RBI double. It's 3-1.
If you've watched the game of baseball long enough, you can start to feel when a hitter gets his timing, starting to get locked in. So maybe it's a good idea that Gurriel is about to leave town. He's having some good at bats tonight.
You're right. You're right. He's going to be a handful here in these coming days. The Diamondbacks are headed to Colorado after today's game. There's a bouncer down to first, smothered by Berger. Good throw to Cole Wynn, and they take care of Del Castillo. 3-1 put out. It does get Gurriel to third base, but there are 2 gone.
Pretty good last 10 or 15 minutes or so for Berger. It's a 3-run homer. Nice diving play to his right. Gets up. Good hustle by Wynn getting over to field his position, cover the bag.
So now Gurriel down that third baseline. The first pitch, Moreno sends it deep out to center, but Carter pedals underneath it. Inning is over. 9-pitch inning for Cole Wynn. He does allow a run. But we head to the last of the 6th tonight with the Rangers up 3-1.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Ooh, cool shot. Fort Worth on this Wednesday evening. Wrapping up this 3-game series for the Arizona Diamondbacks. We're at Globe Life Field. Rangers up 3-1. It'll be Nimmo, Corey Seager, and Josh Young in the 6th inning. Nimmo 0 for 2 today. Nelson stays in the game for Arizona. I mean, the pitch count is hardly registered tonight, and so efficient. But the Rangers finally did get to him last inning, and now Nimmo rolls this one down to first. Vargas goes to the bag, and that's probably why the pitch count's so efficient. 1 pitch, 1 out.
It's funny, I was actually trying to see if there was any type of correlation between Rangers wins, the amount of pitches that they tend to see in wins versus losses. It's not really that much of a difference. I mean, for the season, they see about 145 pitches a game, and they see about 150 in wins and 140 in losses.
Okay.
So I don't know if I would say, you know, what I'd be curious to see on the flip side is the amount of pitches that Rangers pitchers have to throw, and if there's any type of big difference there. I'll get back to you on that.
Okay. And the 1-strike pitch now to Seager, and he takes inside. I don't, you know, to me, one of the harder things to find good data on, and it has always struck me as a meaningful thing, is foul balls. I'd love to, because I feel like those nights where things are seemingly frustrating. Seager hits one out to right field, and Carroll angles over to make the grab. 2 away.
Well, what do you want to know?
You got foul ball.
I actually pulled him up.
No way.
I pulled him up more so because there were so many foul balls against Rocker early in the game. So I don't know specifically what direction I want to go with this, but I was like, all right, what's the high amount of foul balls for an offense in a single game for the season? What would your answer be?
I'd say 20-something.
54.
Oh my. 54?
54. The Tampa Bay Rays against the Chicago White Sox on April 16th had 54 foul balls as an offense.
That's excruciating.
That would be, yeah, and like it's not like a 1-0 game. It's a 5-3 game. So extra pitches.
Lined out to the gap, right center field. Josh Young's hot bat stays hot. He'll pull into second with a 2-out double.
Just gotta love seeing some balls barreled to the opposite field. Berger did it. Young did it. It has been somewhat of a theme in this series, and maybe a good sign that this Rangers offense is starting to get on track. Even the ball that Seager just hit, if you want to look for little things, that's one of his better swings that he's taken in a while. He just missed it. It was backspun. It wasn't to the opposite field, but it was nice.
Carter rolls this one to Marte at second, who throws him out, and the inning is done. So the Young double, exciting, but doesn't produce any runs. Nelson threw another efficient inning, and it is still 3-1 Rangers. Hey, what's on tap is brought to you by St. Arnold Lawnmower, a beer for everyone. You look at what's on tap on Rangers game day. Rangers players, on why they chose their number. There's always, oftentimes anyway, a good story behind the guy's number choice. And then what makes a clutch player? Well, that is an elusive subject. As Jalen Beeks checks in the 7th inning for the Rangers, win through the 6th inning. Beeks now in the 7th.
Good numbers for Beeks. He's just been good against lefties, good against righties. I've got to give some credit to the Rangers front office for just the bullpen that they put together and the type of numbers that they've put up.
Especially, it seems like, and they're not the only team. The Rangers not the only team that seems to do this, but year after year, just sort of blowing it up and starting over again. And I don't, you know, it's a lot about different looks, arm side, arm slots, pitch selections, all those different things, the repertoire. So you just got to find that unique mix.
And not like, all right, the first example that comes to mind, and obviously we have plenty of fun like picking on the Astros at times as Rangers fans, but I'm not, the intent is not to pick on the Astros, but Josh Hader, when he signed that big contract a few years ago, it just seemed like they were not going to get Josh Hader but for a year or two, right? And that's really what it's ended up being.
Thompson, third base, Young to his left, straightens and throws out Waldschmidt, one away. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough to go chasing that big arm, especially on a long-term deal.
And that, you know, like, well, think about the Royals. Things started to change from a bullpen standpoint in about 2015, I think it was, when they won the World Series. They had Wade Davis at the back. They had Kelvin Herrera, Greg Holland. I think there was one other name in there. Luke Hochevar,
yep.
I believe. So they had some big time arms, and at the time it showed like that was a recipe for success. Like you can get your starter through 5, and you bring in the flamethrowers at the back end. But they developed all those guys basically. I guess they got Wade Davis from Tampa, but that was kind of setting a precedent. Well, you can do that if you develop your own guys, but if you're spending money on the back end, that may not be the smartest thing, especially if you've got guys that have a lot of miles on their arm.
Bouncer through the right side. Base hit from Marte. So Diamondbacks have a runner aboard in the 7th inning.
Ball's just slapped through the right side. Berger with a good effort. Just gets by him.
So a base runner for Corbin Carroll, who flew out to center field last time up. He's walked twice tonight. And Beeks delivers low. 2 balls, no strikes. Boy, he is so selective, and it just seems like he's constantly up there in a hitter's count. All for 4 in his career against Beeks, though. That's high, 3-0. Well, you don't want to put him on. He's the potential tying run. Three runs, 4 hits for the Rangers. 1 run, 6 hits for Arizona. Oh, that's a strike. 3-1. Marte, very small lead at first. Time called, and what do we have here? Is it a violation? Oh no, it's time taken by Carroll. Man, that is a late grant of time.
Yep, I agree.
Holy moly. That gets everybody's heart pumping. Man, what? Up near the head, and Carroll takes the walk. Okay, so 2-man out there for Perdomo. Well, they're the base runners, and they represent a little bit of trouble. Perdomo takes very high for a ball. Beeks a little bit off kilter here, and Danny Jansen, trying to slow things down a moment for him. Peyton Gray has started to loosen in the Rangers bullpen. Well, those two discuss things out there. We'll move over for Choctaw Casinos and Resorts. There's Gray. So conversation done. Perdomo's hitless tonight. Switch hitter, batting right-handed. And he takes strike 1. Boy, he was jerking backward away from that pitch as if it was way in, but called a strike. Rangers would love to see a ball hit on the ground. A chance to maybe get 2 outs and be done with the inning.
And for what it's worth for Perdomo, the switch hitter, he's basically the same from both sides. 222 versus lefties with a homer, 224 versus righties with a homer.
Beeks slowly getting up I say on the rubber. He just gets near the rubber. I've talked about this before where that left foot is I mean, you talk about the extreme edge of that thing. Bouncer foul.
I wonder how closely umpires actually pay attention to that.
Yeah, I don't know.
That has got to be, you know, like the way that Baseball Savant has the new thing within the last year where hitters stand in the box.
Yep.
Like that's probably going to be one of the next things is where pitchers stand on the rubber.
Oh boy. 2-2. Skipping rocks up there at Perdomo's feet.
Changeup that just gets pulled. That would have been the last thing you want to see.
Oh, incredible job by Jansen to keep that one at the plate. Marte at second, Carroll the runner at first base for Arizona. Here's a 2-2. And it's a full count. Perdomo, really good contact guy. Doesn't strike out a ton. Walks more than he strikes out. Runners leading 3-2, and it's fouled straight down. All right, check in with Laura.
Well, guys, Beeks actually used to stand on the first base side of the rubber, but he moved over to the third base side back in 2019 when he was with the Red Sox. He said he feels like it makes his changeup play better because it's a different look that hitters might not be used to seeing, and he just feels like any funk he can add in there helps, especially because he's not an overpowering guy.
Fouled back here. It stays full count. I mean, these guys, they're all looking for whatever advantage they can get. And when you can get an extreme angle from the edge of a rubber, like, why not?
You're coming from that side. That changeup is fading away from you. So maybe it's more of an advantage, more of a feel that I guess it's coming from that maybe left side, left field side, shortstop side of second base. That changeup has just a different angle to it.
He's about to deliver the 10th pitch of this at bat, and he bounces it up there. The bases are loaded. Boy, how about that at bat by Perdomo? Schumacher heading out there now, so that's a tough go for Beeks. Just didn't really have the command. After getting an out, he gave up a hit, a couple of walks, and what a spot for the rookie Peyton Gray. 7th inning and a 2-run game.
Is the best $10.99 you can eat.
So Peyton Gray, what a spot. Bases loaded here, 1 out in a 3-1 ball game, and his job to face Nolan Arenado and then potentially Ildemaro Vargas, who is currently 3rd in the National League in hitting.
I mean, he's been really good so far. This will be his 7th game. You know, we've highlighted his changeup multiple times. He gets a 35% whiff rate with it, 38% chase rate.
All right, his first pitch on the way. There's a swing and a miss, and well, I guess it was fouled.
It's not a whiff or a chase, but it's just a spinner in the box.
0-1 on Arenado. Doubled in the 6th inning. And he pulls that foul. It's quickly 0-2. So the changeup by Gray, that's his weapon. And he had Arenado out of balance. We saw Gray for 2 2/3 innings in Monday's game. pulls that one foul. What's interesting in those 2 2/3 innings, the last batter he faced was Arenado. And it was the only time that he got to see him. And Arenado was the only guy to get on base against him. Had a base hit. Runners everywhere, and here comes the 0-2 pitch. A swing and a fly ball right field. Nimmo makes the catch. Tagging at third, Marte. He heads to the plate. The sacrifice fly makes it a 1-run game. Marte scores easily. Carroll gets to third. It's 3-2.
Gray's a guy with a really good changeup. We talked about it. I just mentioned it. I guess I'm curious, him throwing it 4 times in a row to Arenado and not trying to bury something right there. Arenado, a guy that can be overly aggressive, and just trying to get a swing and miss, excuse me, outside of the strike zone.
So now I work to Vargas with the tying run at third base. And that one runs in close. That's the first inherited runner that Gray has allowed to score this year. That's outside. 2-0. Previously stranded all 3 inherited runners this season, but that was eventually probably going to get him at some point. 2-0. And that's a strike. Rocker went 5 shutout. Cole Winn allowed a run last inning. Jalen Beeks has given up a run this inning. Beeks could only get the 1 out. And Gray trying to move this thing along to the bottom of the 7th inning. The 2-1 fouled off. Say off of Jansen. Gray ready again. Here it comes. And that's pulled foul. Boy, just foul.
Yeah, you can see Berger's just committed. He shuffles off. He's thinking, if anything is close to down that line, I'm making sure to lay out.
That is the 35th foul ball by these Diamondbacks hitters tonight. Gray with a long hold, the 2-2 pitch, and I think 36 foul balls.
I think something that we've learned from Vargas tonight and through the course of this series is that you can get him to chase outside the strike zone once he gets 2 strikes. Really does not seem like he wants to go down looking.
For 3 tonight. Gray's 2-2, and this one is hit on the ground. Duran is there at second base. Ooh, the lollipop throw to first gets there in time to get Vargas, and the inning is done. So Peyton Gray comes in, stems the damage, and we're at stretch time now in a 1-run game.
All for Texas.
Rangers baseball on RSN is brought to you by Choctaw Casinos and Resorts, the official casino and resort of the Texas Rangers, and by your North Texas Chevy dealers. Chevy drives Texas. All right, yeah, we just kind of float right in. For the bottom of the 7th inning, Rangers up 3-2 tonight. Final game of this series. The idea is to win this one and win back-to-back series. Something the Rangers haven't done a whole lot this year. After this, it's off to the road. And Duran swings right through strike 2 is Ryan Nelson pitching in the 7th inning, and he's at 76 pitches. Just absolutely dealing tonight. It was the Berger home run, though, that has accounted for the Rangers' 3 runs. All right, Nelson's 0-2. He's in the air, foul. I was looking at that road trip coming up. Tomorrow's a day off. Now, both these teams will hit the road or further hit the road. In the case of the Diamondbacks, they go to Colorado. Day off tomorrow in Denver for them. Rangers go to Houston. Check swing, foul. 0-2. So the standings after last night's games around baseball, the worst record in baseball belonged to the Houston Astros. That's the first stop for the Rangers. The worst record in the National League belonged to the Colorado Rockies. That'll be the next stop. As Duran pops this up in a short right field. Carroll coming in hard. He makes the catch. And then there is one team in the American League tied with the Astros for the worst record. That's the Angels, and that's where the Rangers will wrap up their long road trip. So they do have a long trip coming, another 3-city trip. But instead of going to places like New York, where the Yankees were on an absolute tear, they're hitting some spots where maybe some teams are struggling a little bit. And so hopefully Skip Schumacher's club, especially if they could leave with a little momentum from this series, well, hopefully they could make some hay on that road trip. You don't really think of road trips as a place to pick up a ton of wins. You just kind of want to play 500 ball, but well, hopefully they'd be able to do a smidge better than that. 2-0.
You think, say, 6-4 would be like the bare minimum that you would want to come away with on that, right? 7-3, a step better.
Well, it's a 9-game trip. 3-3-3.
So, yeah. So 7 plus 3 is 9.
9 times. Somebody tipped up the point. But so 5-4 is nice, right?
Yeah.
6-3, is that getting a little greedy?
No.
Okay. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
I guess I was getting it confused with the Rangers will come back home and have a 4-gamer against the Astros. I guess.
Yeah.
I guess they can't have a 4-gamer because there's typically not a Monday wraparound.
You could, right? But I mean, it doesn't happen a lot.
I'm just going to blame it on the 3rd game of the series being a night game.
Yeah, that's another one. There's strike 3 called, and Osuna called out on strikes, but he will challenge. Another Firestone complete auto care ABS challenge, and it was a ball. Good challenge, Alejandro, and he still miffed. Gee, did I do everything around here? You knew it was low too, he says. So, new life for Osuna. But he swings through strike 3. So Nelson gets that strikeout anyway.
Let's get to StatCast 3D, powered by Google Cloud. Jake Berger, man, big swing for him last time up. Opposite field bomb just down the line. Got nearly to 100 feet, 370 feet deep. But I don't think we can talk about the amount of damage it did, how big it was. Just a huge swing.
Wow, so big because you get him going a little bit after a 3-hit game yesterday, the big home run today. And if they can get Berger going a little offensively, they're a different team. But of course, I mean, they had nothing going in this game prior to that. And even since then, it's all they've really had offensively.
There we go. We'll take you back to the 5th. There is that opposite field pop. I think he knew if it stayed fair that it was going to go. You know, honestly, after the homer, I was already looking down at my lineup card, and I was just trying to rearrange how things are going to go for Skip Schumacher tomorrow. I'm like, well, should we move it up to 5th?
Well, he strikes out here. And Nelson, I mean, he really hasn't flinched, even with that moment behind him. He continues to cruise. We're through 7 innings tonight. It's a 3-2 ball game.
Learn more about our Serve the Brave discount program today.
Aerial coverage tonight, powered by Ram. Nothing stops Texas. Nothing stops Ram. Oh, listen, hey, you've got 2 beers. I have 1 bag of popcorn. Maybe we're friends. It's just a $1 bag of popcorn.
If we had that up here for a full 3-game series.
Nope.
No? I think I could get through it in about 5 innings.
5 innings?
Just kidding.
Oh, man. Well, Tyler Alexander takes over in the 8th here. And he works to Gurriel.
20th game for him on the season. Really good just at not allowing hard contact. The barrel percentage is low. Hard hit percentage is really low.
Check swing foul. 0-2 on Gurriel. So we're in the 8th. Rangers up by a run. And it's that time of night where, of course, the Rangers, they've used a handful of relievers already. But we'll see the depth of the bullpens, depth of the benches. 2-strike pitch, and that is outside. Got Jose Fernandez waiting in the on-deck circle. Looks like he would bat next for Arizona. Bouncer third base, charging in Young, throws on the run, and it's in plenty of time. Gurriel is retired to begin the 8th inning. And there's Fernandez. So Del Castillo goes 0 for 2 with a walk. And Fernandez, the right-handed hitter, replacing him. Fernandez so far 0 for 5 in the series. The first pitch to him, that one catches a corner, strike 1. Alexander gets another ground ball. Whoa, that one sneaks past Seager. What happened there? Oh, man. Fernandez is on. And a free base runner for the Diamondbacks. That one somehow just snuck under the glove.
Yeah, I was just about to talk about how great this Rangers defense has done tonight. Just doesn't get that glove all the way down. You know, you think about a guy like Seager, 6'3", 6'4", playing shortstop. That's a long way to go to get down there. But obviously, we see him make the plays night in and night out.
I hope that error does not prove costly as Alexander tosses over there on Fernandez. 3rd error of the year charged to Corey. Diamondbacks, man, they have had runners all over the bases tonight. Runner going. The pitch was low. The throw to second not in time, and that's a big stolen base now for Fernandez. So the error plus the stolen base. Well, that's the tying run.
Yeah, it's a really good jump. Was going first move, just took a guess, head first slide, no chance.
Meanwhile, 1-0 to Moreno. Another ABS challenge, this time Moreno challenging it. So our Firestone complete auto care ABS challenge, and that is a lost challenge for the Diamondbacks. So the strike call confirmed. There's a swing and a foul into the mitt for strike 2. Correct me if I'm wrong, they've missed 2 challenges now.
I think that's right.
Well, they just made an adjustment on the scoreboard, but they show 1 challenge remaining. So I could be, it's possible that I am blurring days together. I do that a lot. There's time called, and Moreno backs away.
I think we talked about this in the exhibitions at the beginning of the year. I got to start making like a separate box on my scorecard just to keep track of ABS, whether they get it right or whether they don't, because they do start to run together.
Alexander ready. And the 1-2. Moreno swings and misses. That's a strikeout. 2 away. Well, that's a big K right there for Alexander.
Changeup that fades off the plate. See that changeup grip starts there on the end. Moreno chases. That's a big out there, because with Waldschmidt coming up, I mean, he doesn't have an immense track record, but he's had enough good at bats in this series where you're thinking, all right, this may be a guy in the 9-hole that I would prefer not to see.
He scares me a little bit. He's been pretty competitive in these at bats. Fernandez out at second base. That's low. 2 balls, no strikes. He got there via the error and then stolen base. This inning, very simple argument could be made, should be over. 2-0. And that's strike 1. Bottom of the 8th inning, the Rangers have Danny Jansen coming up, and then that turns the lineup over for Peterson and Nimmo. Boy, Jacob Latz warming in the Rangers pen. 2-1. And that's low, ball 3. Latz, who has worked his way into the Rangers closer's job and has been really good. But he's had to throw a little bit here recently. 3-1 pitch, and that's ball 4. So Waldschmidt is on, sets up a force at any of the 3 bases. And also turns the lineup over for Ketel Marte. He's been on 3 times tonight, a couple of hits and a walk.
You mentioned just the sheer number of base runners the Diamondbacks have had. This is the 6th inning in this game that the Diamondbacks have had multiple base runners.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they have built some pretty big threats inning after inning as Alexander misses outside. 9 left on so far. Always tracking that number about what percentage of base runners get converted into runs. That's a strike, 1-1. In this series, the Diamondbacks have converted roughly 21% of base runners into actual runs, and that is a very low number. Here's the 1-1 pitch. And a swing, and that one gets away from Jansen. It was a whiff by Marte, but a pass ball, and it allows both runners to advance. Man, now things get really hairy.
The news is you get a strike. The bad news is that there was a cross-up, which you don't see that much anymore with the PitchCom system.
1-2. Well, Alexander, he could really use a strikeout. Trying to keep it a 1-run lead. Diamondbacks threatening in the 8th. Here's the 1-2 pitch. And that's outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Crowd tonight 26,049 in ounce paid attendance. And they had the moment to really rejoice on the home run by Berger. This might get them out of their chairs. 2-2 and a bouncer up the middle. Another chance for Seager. He takes care of Marte and the inning is over. So the error does not blow up on Alexander. Last of the 8th coming. Yes, beard popcorn and outs. This is the greatest night of our lives.
We're always with you.
I would say it's been a weird night. 3-2 the score. Not exactly a clean game. Certainly not crisp. The Rangers, they have the lead. Bottom of the 8th inning. And an insurance runner 2 in this inning would just be enormous.
I'm with you. I am with you.
Best news maybe of the night is that Nelson's out of the game. And Ginkel is the new pitcher.
Now, Ginkel had a few good years there between 22 and 24. Blew up at him last year. 7.36 ERA, but he's back down to a 3.94. 16 innings, 19 strikeouts.
1 ball and 1 strike on Danny Jansen. Jansen, Peterson, Nemo. The batters do this inning. Nelson went 7 really good innings tonight. And Jansen lifts that down the left side. Arenado way over. And he had that one measured pretty well. 1 away. So here comes Jock Peterson. Well, Jock on the big night last night. The leadoff home run started the scoring on the Rangers' way to their best night offensively of the year here at home. Season high in runs with 7, a season high in hits with 11 in their home park. They've had bigger nights on the road, but their best nights here. Tonight back to normal though. 3 runs, 4 hits. And Ginkel runs that one in. Jock hit a liner to first in the first inning. Well over 100 miles per hour, but for an out. Since flat out a couple of times to center and to right. One, 2. And that's low. Jock playing against his old team, the Diamondbacks, where he put together a really nice, what was it, 2024 season. 23 home runs that year, and he hits this ball in the air out to right field. Takes Carroll back into that power alley, and he makes the catch. Gives us a moment for Spectrum.
Spectrum Internet, the most reliable internet you can count on.
All right, here's Brandon Nimmo. And he'll take one right on the inside corner for a strike. In the 9th, by the way, the Diamondbacks will have Carroll, Perdomo, and Arenado. Latz getting ready in the bullpen. Breaking ball fouled away. 0-2. That's high. Rangers took 2 out of 3 from the Cubs on this homestand. And the Cubs, man, they were as hot as any team in baseball this year going into that series. And we can say that because the Rangers had just finished a series in New York against the Yankees, who were maybe the second hottest team on the planet. Well, anyway, that was a good series win. And now leading here in the final game of this series with the Diamondbacks. It's fouled away. Stays 2-2.
And like you said, it's been a weird night, not the cleanest, crispest game, but you walk away from this with a win, with 2 consecutive series wins, with a good feeling going into a 10-game road trip. That's huge.
It is strike 3 called on Nimmo. And so it's a quiet 8th inning. The Rangers offense continues to struggle a bit, but they do lead it by a run with Latz coming out for this 9th inning. Well, it's pretty clear what has to happen here. Top of the 9th inning. Rangers holding a 3-2 advantage in this one, and they've given the baseball to their closer, Jacob Latz.
This will be the 4th time this season that he pitches back-to-back days. Really good numbers for him. It'll be his 18th game, shooting for his 6th save of the season. And speaking on the note of back-to-back days, you know, could be noteworthy at some point. He wasn't necessarily expected to pitch last night, but Collier struggled, so he had to end up coming in the ball game. That's a way to start it off. Carroll has been on base a bunch tonight. 3 walks for him, gets the chase. We really don't see that. He's been a disciplined hitter.
That one's right in there for a strike, and it's quickly 0-2. Latz had to face 3 hitters last night: Uriel, Moreno, and Jose Fernandez. And he basically retired all 3 of them to win the game. The 0-2, and this one is lined just past first and out into right field. Carroll runs hard, heads for second. Here comes the throw, and it is not in time. Corbin Carroll with a double, his 10th of the year.
Yeah, he is thinking double right out of the box. I mean, this guy can really run. Once again, he has always been at the top of the metrics as far as base running run value. 99th percentile according to Baseball Savant. He's quick, but he is also smart out there, and that's the right time to take a chance. 9th inning on the road.
So the corners come in a little bit. Perdomo shows bunt, and this one gets away from Jansen. He'll throw to third, and it's not in time. Corbin Carroll gets in there ahead of the tag. A wild pitch, I believe, allows him to advance.
You talk about calculated risk in the blink of an eye. The ball gets just barely away from Jansen, and he is scooting in there to third. You talk about just multiple ways to help your team win.
So the tying runs at third base. Now the entire infield is in. And that one is in there for a strike. 1-1. So the Diamondbacks have put some pressure on this Rangers defense now. Perdomo is 0 for 3 with a walk. Latz takes a little extra moment. Here's the 2-1. And that is ripped just foul. Oh my goodness. 2-2. Oh man.
About as close as you can get. Now, between Perdomo, between Arenado, there's been a lot of this series. Just inches.
All right, Latz ready again. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Man, that's very high. Trying to find a little extra with that one and almost got away from him. Full count now. It is new territory for Latz, not closing games as much as maybe pitching back-to-back nights like this. No time called by Perdomo. Arenado waits on deck for the Diamondbacks. Big 3-2 pitch. And did he go? No. So Perdomo walks. Couple of men on now. Let's see.
That was close. I believe he held up.
Here comes Arenado. Arenado has doubled. He's also driven in a run on a sac fly tonight. Tying run has great speed at third. The go-ahead run also very good base runner over at first. Yeah, that's a strike. Against a veteran hitter. Here's Carroll. Here's Perdomo. 1 strike pitch to Arenado, and it's blocked nicely again by Danny Jansen. Man, working hard back there tonight.
Yep. It was tough with a lefty on the mound, but you might want to keep an eye on Perdomo at first. If he can find a way to steal second, Diamondbacks can take a lead on a single. So he's trying to see what type of read that he can get.
There's a swing and a miss. 1-2 on Arenado. Well, that was pitch number 173 tonight for the Rangers. Arizona's thrown 102 pitches. Big disparity. The 1-2, and that's inside. Well, Arenado's always been a difficult guy to strike out. This year, striking out a little closer to league average, but in his career, well below league average. Not that he walks a lot. 2-2 pitch, and that's in the dirt. Did he go? No. Continue to appeal down there to first base. Andy Fletcher waves him safe, and it's a full count.
Rangers definitely going to make the Diamondbacks earn it. With all the base runners they've had tonight, Diamondbacks just 1 for 13 with runners in scoring position.
Big pitch from Latz. Here it comes. And that is hammered down the left field line. Foul.
Exhale.
A little early.
Exhale.
Well, go ahead and continue breathing. Oof. Right, Jacob ready again. Here it is. Another foul ball. So we'll see an 8th pitch in this at bat. Diamondbacks 43 foul balls tonight.
It's a new season high against Rangers pitching.
And you can go a week without seeing 43 foul balls. The payoff. Another one.
And it's pretty clear what Arenado's trying to do. I mean, he's pretty much all pull. He can go to the opposite field, but he's really just pushing it over there. You know, he's not going to the opposite field with authority. He's trying to get the head out and hit something hard to the pull side.
The inning started with a double. Perdomo walked. Here's a 3-2. And that one is in the air deep out to left field. Long run Osuna, and that one is up against the fence. He'll grab it and hustle it back in. 1 run is scored. Perdomo stopped at third base. A last-second stop sign by House, and the game is tied. The go-ahead run 90 feet away, and that's a big, big double by Arenado.
What you could say about Jacob Latz is he's challenging these guys. It looked like a changeup, but you want that pitch down. It's at the top of the zone. Arenado once again trying to pull that baseball. I don't know if there's any part of him that thought he got it, but it's deep into the gap. Diamondbacks continue to do damage here in the 9th.
Infield has to stay in. Ildemaro Vargas will move out of the way of ball 1. A run in the 6th, a run in the 7th. It was one of those nights. Kamar Rocker, I guess you could say, labored through 5 innings. It was 5 shutout, though. Worked around 4 walks and 3 hits. The important thing was he kept putting up zeros. And the bullpen has come on. The bullpen has been so good. Wynn allowed a run in the 6th inning. Jalen Beeks a run in the 7th inning. It wasn't easy for Alexander in the 8th inning. And now a run in this 9th off Jacob Latz. Two and one. I just wonder how Latz's arm is responding tonight. This one lined into left field. That's a base hit. It'll plate a couple of runs. It gives the Diamondbacks a 5-3 lead, their first lead of the game. Man, oh man. Whew. That's tough tonight.
I mean, we can obviously speculate. You know, Latz, he only threw 12 pitches last night, so he should still be fresh. Maybe not as fresh as he would want to be, but there is a cause and effect that you can at least think about. Rangers will have their work cut out for them, but first they have to stop the bleeding and get out of this jam at 5-3.
Yeah, they'll have a chance in the bottom of the 9th. A half inning they were hoping to avoid. And now Skip Schumacher making the very slow walk out to the mound. So I think maybe feeling like Latz has had enough tonight. There's a signal. So that's it. Jacob could not retire a batter. And Cal Quantrill had been loosening in the bullpen. He'll be on when we come back.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
That was a tough goal for Jacob Latz tonight. Pitching in back-to-back ball games, and he did not have it. 3 runs have scored. He is responsible for the runner at first base. Cal Quantrill has come on now.
There's Quantrill's numbers through 5 games. You know, back to Latz too. It's hard because he's been so good. He hadn't given up a run since Rangers were at Dodger Stadium. That was over a month ago.
Wow. Yeah, that was a while ago. So Gurriel will be the hitter here. And listen, the Rangers, they've got a chance in the bottom of the 9th inning to get those runs back. Quantrill runs that first offering there inside on Gurriel. Gurriel had a double in the 6th inning. That brought in the first run of the night for Arizona. He'll take a strike. That's the other thing that we get as a result of this half inning, aside from the Rangers getting another at bat. There's a swing at a high fly ball right field. Coming in Nimmo, he'll make the catch. There's your first out of the inning. But it does provide an opportunity for the Rangers for their first walk-off win of the year. They have not had one yet.
They haven't had one, and if you want to look at the positive, you've got 3, 4, 5 coming up. I know that Seager has not had the best season to date, but we know that he's clutch. I mean, maybe this is an opportunity for him to come out of it. Josh Young's been good. So it's, yeah, high leverage at bats. We'll see how they respond.
Yeah, it is. I mean, there's a certain dynamic that just seems to shift in these very late stages. So who knows? That one is a little bit low. 2 balls, no strikes on Fernandez. Yeah, Quantrill gets that one in there. 2-1. Paul Sewald warming up in the Diamondbacks bullpen. He's their closer. He's also the guy probably has some, I don't know, emotional scars from this ballpark. Game 1 of the World Series here, and that's when the big home run by Corey Seager was delivered, thanks in part to Paul Sewald. There's a pop-up right side foul, and that's out of play. Fernandez reached on the error last inning, which extended the workload a little bit for Tyler Alexander, but did not lead to any runs. Quantrill will step off. Three-two. Yeah, that's up the middle towards center. Coming on Ford Carter, makes the catch. 2 gone. Well, he just continues to just glide all over that outfield out there.
He is smooth for sure. And even he breaks down for a minute, picks up the baseball. The line drives are the hardest, but he comes to get it, and he's got good closing speed.
So Moreno now. 1 for 4. His hit came in the 4th inning, and he'll take inside. Ball 1. On the bluffs, pitch looked pretty good. But it's 2-0. When you look up the fielding Bible, defensive run saved by position, center fielders, only 2 center fielders who have had a more positive impact defensively on their teams than Evan Carter. Pete Crow Armstrong of the Cubs, total run saved 12
already.
Andy Pages with the Dodgers 8. And then Carter and Michael Harris with 5 each. This one rolled up the middle. The runner was on the move. Duran moved to cover second, and it opened up a hole. Moreno took advantage, and a 2-out single puts him on the corners now.
Well, this is what a hit and run is supposed to look like. Usually you don't put it on purpose with 2 outs. It just happened to work out in the Diamondbacks' favor. And that's kind of the way that this inning has gone. Whatever type of offensive play that they put on, swinging the bat, walking, it just seems to work out in their favor.
And let's be clear, that was offensive. This Waldschmidt now 1 for 3 with a walk. 3 runs across in this 9th inning. Quantrill trying to put an end to it, and he gets that one in for a strike. Waldschmidt's the 8th hitter of the inning for Arizona. So they scored, let's see, they scored 3 runs yesterday in the 9th inning. 3 runs so far tonight in the 9th inning. Runner going, and a throw was meant to go to Quantrill. Boy, that almost blew up. Moreno with a steal of second. Oh boy. I think it was meant to go to Quantrill, right?
It's a really good question, because I typically don't think. Ooh.
There was an ABS challenge, our Firestone Complete Auto Care ABS challenge. The pitch is a strike. The Rangers challenging that one, so maybe that was it. Maybe he was coming up throwing and also trying to challenge at the same time.
I mean, I guess for me, I don't know if I really see in the big leagues that first and third situation, the ball going to the pitcher. That's why I can't really remember seeing that.
0-2. And that's strike 3 called. Well, it's all for now. Quantrill gets the strikeout. The inning's done. A 3-run 9th for Arizona. So the Rangers' last chance. Things getting serious now. It's Seager, Young, and Carter coming up.
Jack for a chance to win $75K.
Welcome to Jack in the Box.
Well, fans implored to make some noise. Paul Sewald is on now in the 9th inning for Arizona.
The second time the Rangers have seen him in this series. He's shooting for his 10th save. ERA 3.07, batting average against 122.
Here's Corey Seager, and he'll go after the first pitch and foul it away. In left field, Waldschmidt has moved over from center as Barossa checks in the game defensively in center field now. Sewald off the plate, 1-1. So here's that matchup we talked about last inning. Immediately think back to 2023 and game 1 of the World Series. The biggest swing of a bat by any Texas Ranger in this franchise's history anyway. Seager this time swings and misses at strike 3, and he didn't even know it. That's just another sign that they're out of sorts. Oh boy.
Just continue to state the obvious. You know, at any successful team, you got to have your guy get going. There's been teams in the past that have had their superstar struggle. So it's not the first time it's happened, but the sooner that the Rangers get him going, the sooner that they're going to have a chance.
Well, Young fights one off in the right field, his second hit of the night. Go ahead, Josh Young. I mean, share the wealth.
Good approach. It's a breaking ball. It's in. Good inside out approach.
Well, don't look now. The Rangers have that tying run to the plate. Evan Carter, the batter, and he swings at the first pitch. High fly ball left field. Waldschmidt, Barossa converging. Waldschmidt, he makes the catch. This awkward little moment there, but he makes a grab. 2 away, and that brings up Ezekiel Duran. 0 for 3 so far tonight. A couple of strikeouts and a flyout. Oh, he's never had a hit off Sewald. Haven't had a whole lot of opportunities. 5 runs, 10 hits for Arizona. 3 runs on 5 hits for the Rangers. And that's downstairs. 2-0. So we call it a bloop and a blast, right? You got the bloop, Young's on, you look for the blast to tie the game. But as a hitter, is Zeke thinking about a blast, or is he just thinking about another hit?
That's a good question. I think it's different for every hitter. You know, eventually you get to the point where you're just trying to keep the line moving, but in a 3-0 count, I'm not sure if he has the green light here. You're definitely trying to do damage.
Here comes a 3-0, and he takes the strike.
It is not a bad time to take a shot at it, I'll tell you that. Yeah, you know how hard it is to put together multiple hits to score multiple runs.
That's another good one. A sweeper that time for a strike, and so the Rangers are down to their final strike tonight. 3 runs in the 5th inning, but an otherwise mostly frustrating night offensively. Now Zeke wants to use his timeout. In danger of this becoming a 500 homestand. Three-two pitch. Runner goes. There's a swing. That ball's hit well down the left field line, and that one is off the wall and caroms over the head of Waldschmidt. Young scores. Duran to second. It's a 1-run game in the ninth. Boy, Ezekiel Duran continues his incredible start to the season.
Well, he threw him the same pitch that he threw him 3-1, and you give a hitter too many looks of the same pitch, they're bound to make the adjustment, especially if it's in the middle of the plate. This is good wood. Rangers onto something here.
And now you're a base hit away from a new game. So that was alarming enough to convene a Congress out there on the mound. They get everybody out there. Well, that's broken up. And Alejandro Osuna will be the batter. You were talking about that earlier in the game, the dramatic finish.
Ryan Nelson starts.
Yep.
Yep.
And then the Little Rascals, who were such a part of that when the Rangers went to Arizona at the end of the year. Here is one of those Little Rascals, Osuna, and he takes ball 1.
And he was the guy that got the game-winning hit. It was a line drive off the pitcher that bounced off into foul territory that scored a run.
Well, he could provide the winning hit here if he knocked one over the fence. But even a base hit would tie the game. Fans into it, should get something good here. 2-0. The pitch. That is inside. Ball 3. And Sewald is in danger of putting the winning run on base with the offensive hero of the night waiting on deck. There he is. 3-1. Becoming a longer inning for Seawald. It's 3-1, and that misses. Ball 4. The winning run is on base in the ninth. And Jake Berger is coming to the mound, or coming to the plate rather.
Stay hot, big boy. 5th inning, 3-run tater, opposite field. You got to love the approach, especially with a guy in Seawald. He drops down a little bit. He has the tendency to make you want to pull off the baseball. But what Jake's been doing, even what we saw last night, I believe we saw a broken bat hit to the opposite field. That'll score a run.
First pitch to him, and he swings through the sweeper. And a big night yesterday. Berger, 3 hits along with a walk. Today, the 3-run homer. Tying and a winning run on. There's a swing and a line drive. That's a base hit. Here comes Duran, and this game is tied. Jake Berger might be hot right now. These fans are loving it.
The same situation as the Ezekiel Duran at bat. You show a guy a slider too many times, he's going to make the adjustment. He swings and misses on his first at bat. And this just a soft line drive into left field. This game is tied. Can we finish it?
First blown save of the year for Seawald. He's done. Torrey Lavello going out to make the move. 2 runs in. A base hit away from winning this one in the bottom of the ninth. Juan Murillo will be the new pitcher when we come back.
Verbo is not. If you know, you Verbo.
Boy, what a hit for Jake Berger. They don't all have to be home runs. Had 3 hits last night, all singles. What a big knock a moment ago to tie this game.
Juan Murillo enters the game, and he's been really good this year. The Rangers have their work cut out for them if they're going to get it done. 4-seamer, changeup, slider, sinker. 4 really good offerings. None of them has a batting average over 160.
Jansen, the hitter, and he hits it down the line. Base hit. Here comes Osuna, and the Rangers have their first walk-off of the year. Danny Jansen lifts the Rangers to a 6-5 win over the Diamondbacks. That is some kind of win for this Rangers club.
Well, in a game where there just wasn't a ton of energy, even though the Rangers led throughout, man, they had come on in the 9th inning. Just great at bat after great at bat. You talk about Young, Ezekiel Duran, Osuna. Berger gets the big hit, and then Jansen closes it out.
We're waiting for one of those for a while. That is some way to wrap up a homestand.
Big time walk-off. I mean, you're looking for that fastball. 97 in. Pull the hands in, drive it down the line, and drive home safely.
Well, that's crazy. 1 pitch from Murillo. Danny was ready. So I'll tell you what, I mean, it was a disastrous top of the ninth. Only to come back and get all those runs back. A 3-run ninth inning. The Rangers continue to have just ridiculously good at bats late in games against the team's high leverage pitchers every night. There are a lot of times where it doesn't work out, but 23 ninth-inning runs this year for the Rangers. The only inning in which they've scored more runs this year, the third inning. They just continue to get it done. What a win here tonight. 6-5. Rangers walk it off over the Diamondbacks. We'll take a break. Come back and wrap it up for you here in a moment.